All right, we're doing the Twitch. Okay. All right, let me close these DMs so people can't see my DMs with Hamaguchi. Okay, hold on.
God,
All right.
the spoilers.
You know, you just sent me a picture of us. It's so
Are you
cute.
serious?
I was like, I think this is you. I was like, yeah, good spot, bro. All right. Um, okay. Live now with extreme surprise guest
New
Sleep
guest.
Easy.
Hmm.
Ever Crisis Masamune Origins plus talking shop about Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth news, etc. Love you. Links below. And then, okay.
I typed in Titter, which is a different website.
I should probably tag you, huh? I'm gonna tag you in the picture. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And then I've gotta okay, then there's more. I gotta find the link to the live stream. This is so much work, Sleep Easy.
So many things happening.
Okay.
I can't believe it. It all feels very special when you do it
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am sorry, ET, but this is the only day that I am not working. So
Hey,
that is unfortunately why. So, but it's good to see you.
yeah. ET Home RIN. Welcome in. And I'm sorry, but that's the cool thing about YouTube has the best VOD structure. So if you're here and you're like gonna miss it and you want to watch the VOD, go to YouTube for the VOD.
Look
Just,
at that.
you know,
Go right to the
like it,
to the
subscribe it, etc. Okay. All right, I did that. I did that there. Okay, let's just get our faces on so that people know that you're alive. What is this called again? Oh yeah, this. Okay. Oh hi. Hello.
Hi.
It's a me, Luigi.
Famous Luigi or Mario's brother?
Uh the Mario's brother, sadly. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing cool. Here, let's put the chat box somewhere. Where are
Yeah, it
you?
sounds
Okay, yeah,
good.
let's put it right here in the middle.
How are you doing, ours?
Hi,
Hope you're
ours.
doing well. Or Somnia. Hope the time that you are joining us is not unforgivable.
We're good. I think we're good. Okay, I got one more place. I've got the blue sky. I gotta post it there too. For the people that we lost in the
Oh yeah, that blue sky thing.
yeah, people are
I
into
like me some
that.
blue sky.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
it's not bad. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's it's better. The thing that sucks about the world is that when like really unhinged things happen, like Twitter's still the place to go see like like with the popcorn. But
Yes,
man,
the train wreck.
yeah, but man, it really does its best not to be worth it whenever there's even a slight lull in like CEO shootings or like questionable drone activity. It just goes straight to like the worst takes imaginable. Like, I like watching the Superman trailer reactions. People like, what? There's a dog in it? I'm fucking out, man. I'm just whoa. Whoa.
I'm currently
Wow.
in on
That
the
is
on the Superman.
that
That
is
that looks good.
yeah. What are your thoughts on that real quick while I
Normal
tweet?
reaction, not super hyped, but I think it looks good. Looks totally fine.
It looks totally
Look,
fine, right? Yeah.
looks like a movie. Looks like Superman is in it. Looks like there's a dog.
Yeah,
And I
there's
feel like
like
I
a
haven't actually
dog that's
seen.
there's dude, Super Dog is like Crypto is one of the oldest comic book characters in the world. Miss Wide.
I
Yeah,
know, I
well,
was gonna
I'm
say
glad to know that you're alive as well.
we're
Yeah, we're
all
good. We
currently here and alive.
yeah, we had fun together. We spent time IRL together. It was nice.
That was lovely, wasn't it?
It
That was
was
that was
lovely.
quite nice. It
We
was
went to
lovely
the
to see
Game
you.
Awards.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Game Awards. Infinite fun to see all of the nominations and all of the people that made the games walking around you.
Yeah, it
Like
was
Sam Lake
yeah,
was
Sam
just
Lake.
somewhere in the vicinity of us, and I was just like, that's the
That's
guy who
that
dances. I don't know any of his games. He's fantastic.
yeah.
But it was a great time. All the trailers were really great too. I was actually really glad that that was the first and perhaps like not the last Game Awards that we went
Only.
to.
Yeah. No, if there were a first, that's a good first one.
It
Um
was. I think it almost spoils the rest of them for like the future because it was so good. It was probably one of the best Game Awards. Period.
Now,
Um,
a lot of people didn't like last year's for whatever reason. But I loved it because we got to see the Final Fantasy song there. We got to see, uh,
that was fun.
promises
No,
to
no, that
keep.
was a good one. I actually liked that a lot. That was
Yeah,
I watched that with subtext, and that was like probably one of my. That was a really good reveal. I thought that that was a really solid reveal. Games for me, I would say even this go around of the Game Awards, all of the games announced, I wouldn't say are necessarily all for me. There's a couple of them in there that I'm interested in, like Intergalactic. I'm really excited for.
yeah. I'm glad
Um,
you're excited for that. It's been hard online because, and I've said this on a few streams, but like, oh boy, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm starting up the Ever Crisis, and it's making
oh, you're
noise.
starting up the games.
So
Um, yeah, I don't think that it's been anything in particular that's been so. It's actually the same mentality I have with like the James Gunn Superman film. It's like James Gunn produces a certain type of content, and that content is good content. I like the movies he makes. They're generally pretty funny and pretty like well written, and usually have a pretty solid arc for the characters that are um Oh, your music is loud.
I turned it off.
Okay, heard. Yeah, so he usually produces a pretty substantial movie. Naughty Dog has made, I don't know, like
Zero.
10 out of 10
Yeah.
games, 15 like revered pieces of art, and their best one being Crash Bandicoot. Um, objectively. um, I think that Intergalactic looks like the first game that is probably more for me than the others. And I would say even though I'm not particularly fond of the the undead twist of The Last of Us, on paper pretty generic.
Yeah.
Storytelling is out of control.
Yeah.
So you can't, and the writing brilliant. So and the characters pretty also regarded as some of the best characters. So regardless of what the game looks like, as of right now, even if it didn't look like the way that it looked, I would still be insanely curious to see like what it is. But the promise of the combat, the promise of the kind of direction of the story is way more personally fit to me. So I'm more than excited for that game. And then there was like The Witcher 4, which like of course is going to be a CGI cutscene, but who's not excited to play that game? There was a lot of good stuff, a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah. Um, a lot of people are not excited to play it. A lot of people are excited to, I don't know, culture war it, which is
I
fine.
think
Most people are going to be like, oh, well, what's this all about? And then see that it's awesome. Um, what were your top three things you think while I get settings set up from the Game Awards before we move on to Final Fantasy Ever Crisis?
okay, so uh I think the first one and probably the one, yeah, I'm not going to order these, but if there were to be a theoretical first place award, it would be for the Ninja Gaiden uh Bloodbound or whatever it was called. The
Yeah,
game that was not even announced in like the
it was in the
actual
pre-show.
show.
Yeah,
It was the first thing that they showed in the pre-show. That game, made by the creators of Blasphemous, looks amazing. It has a really interesting sort of. Um, I'm a really big fan of being able to bounce off of the things that you hit in platforming, and especially in like games like Blasphemous. And I think it like Hollow Knight also does that a little bit. I think. And yeah, the combat looks really good. Looks like it has a really good flow to it. That would be the game that I would probably be most likely to play out of all of the games that I saw. Um, Intergalactic definitely on that list. And then if I had to pick a third, I would probably just say in general the big returning titles. I'm very excited for oh no, you know what? It would probably be the Untitled Ico director project, and then fourth place would go to probably all of the returning IPs like Onimusha. You have Virtua Fighter, which would probably be closest to third place because that was fucking awesome to see that. And then there was another game, but I forgot it, so I guess it doesn't belong on the list. So, but everything looked pretty promising. Um,
what about, okay, so it's so far out, Okami, that
Okami was the
it
one,
it's
the
hard.
returning
Yeah.
IP. I'm just excited in general because it just seems like a lot of the era of video games that I am particularly fond of has been coming back in quite an intense way. So Silent Hill 2 remake was a pretty good start to that. I think that that was, and obviously like you have like Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
But the Silent Hill 2 remake, which was great, and I haven't even finished it, but like really enjoy the gunplay in that. It's been super fun to play through. There's that, and then there's just a bunch, and then also just I mean we didn't see it, but there's like Crazy Taxi coming back, Jet Set Radio's coming back, which is like probably one of my favorite games of all time. Just in terms of style and like the idea of it is very cool. I'm just interested to see the new take on all of these things, and then Okami is just gonna be awesome. And then hopefully we get a Beautiful Joe somewhere, if that's
Someday,
even possible,
somehow.
which is also fucking an amazing game.
Yeah.
Explosive.
Um,
So
did you play other than Rebirth? Did you play any of the major nominees this year?
I played 2 seconds of Astrobot. I played an hour of Metaphor. Um, and then I can't remember what else was nominated. I did not play Black Wukong.
Uh huh.
I have not even finished the base game of Elden Ring,
Uh huh.
so I
Uh
couldn't have
huh.
played
Uh
the
huh.
Masterful DLC.
The
that ended
the
up.
the Night Rain, by the way, was you were losing your mind over it, and I think you were losing your mind more because you saw things that were references to not Elden Ring in the
Yeah,
Night Rain trailer.
Dark Souls
Yeah, you
references,
saw the
which are
DS3
huge.
references, which is great, which is
Yes.
cool. Now that you kind of know what that game is, and I kind of had a feeling like, and you could see me being like less excited than you about it. I had a feeling that it was going to be like something that is like very essentially locked and more of like a co-op thing. Now that you know
Mhm.
what it is, are your feelings still excited about it just because it's FromSoft and they never miss?
Excited in a different way than I was when I initially saw it.
Yeah,
So different. My feelings have changed, but not for the worst. I
yeah,
think the problem for me when I was watching it is that I thought it was a just a new IP, and I was
yeah,
like, any fucking From Software can look literally like the other, and then it's just a fucking new IP.
yeah,
So, because Elden Ring could have very easily just like from first appearance been called a Dark Souls game, but obviously it has its own lore, totally different thing. That's fine. Night Rain came on screen, and I was like, holy shit, they're making another medieval IP that is in the same vein, and this is what they've been working on. But it looked so massive. I was like, and previously Miyazaki had stated that the studio is not going to be making a game as big as Elden Ring again for a while. They're going to do another project, something else. So when I saw this big expansive map that looked, by the way, exactly like Elden Ring, I was like, oh shit, they're
yeah,
just like fucking going in on it again, or making a two, like a Zelda or something like that, Breath of the Wild.
yeah,
Um, Miyazaki's name didn't show up in the trailer, which I did notice
yeah,
immediately, which is a flag. Not a bad flag, just a flag. And then combat looked amazing, and then the Nameless King from 3 showed up,
yeah,
which I thought was really interesting from a lore perspective because I haven't finished Elden Ring. And then it looked like it was like a Fortnite. And then I thought about that more, and then I just thought, what if Fortnite or any of these battle royale games just had Dark Souls bosses in them
yeah,
that I had to fucking suffer through as well as other things. And I thought to myself, you know what? That sounds like it's a pretty fun time.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the greatest time, but I'm really interested to see how that formula of uh, I want to completely ruin your time from Soft comes in with that sort of style. So it's not a single player game. It's not like one of those experiences.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that was the only shift, going from like, okay, single player experience to what is this sort of like almost sandboxy type of thing, which I think could be fun. I think people will be excited
Well,
and play it.
so one of the things is that's I
That
think
was
going to be
supposed to be
interesting
the
about
time
it
I
is
was
the
waking up.
static builds. I really so is
I'm fine with that too.
I mean
I
I
heard about
really
that and
like
I was like, that's
Sekiro, and so Sekiro was like was the I think that it took so many RPG elements out of the Souls formula, but in a way that somehow worked. Like it's one of those rare moments where you're like, okay, this is working. Like it's so tight, it's working. Um, like there are plenty of things you can do differently. You can make choices and stuff like that. I'm not saying that there isn't build variety, but it seems more like what we're getting is that kind of restricted build variety. Part of the fun in some of the Souls games is finding these broken ass builds, and then trying to find them before they get patched out. Like that is part of some people's fun. It's never really been mine. I'm more like finding my play style and then forcing finding weapons that
yes.
that
Cater to
cater to my
to the
play
way that you
style
want to
instead.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
I'm the
instead of
same
just
way.
trying to find some weird way to cheese the boss. Um But I will say it's really strange. I've never seen, to my mind, I've never seen like a game that's like you have two choices on how you can play this game: one player or three player. No two player, one or three. Those are your options. So I'm interested to see what game design they cooked up, to in order to accommodate that. So that's my thoughts on it. I know you don't have a
Mm.
ton of time, so I'm going to go grab something really quick and then be right back. You can entertain the crowd, and then we'll start Ever Crisis. Does that sound good? And we'll break
I'm super
down.
down.
Yeah. And so in the interim, tell people what your thoughts are on Rebirth moving forward.
Sorry that I haven't been around too much, chat. That's the first thing I'll say. There's been a lot of interesting stuff going on with Rebirth, but honestly, uh, I've just been paying as much attention to it as I have been able to, on my end. Just having, my passing interest is how it feels now, but just watching all of this stuff unfolding. Rebirth on PC, dude. That is what I'm excited about. I have been waiting, unironically, for this PC release since Rebirth came out. Enhanced lighting was not what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting perfect, pristine lighting. Because I've been wanting to make a video like the last one that I made, which had a lot of in-game filming. I found that to be so entertaining. It was like one of my favorite things to do. And as soon as I heard about Rebirth, and saw the open world and saw all the potential there to just kind of create something really interesting visually for a video, I was like, I have to wait. I have to wait. I want to wait. I don't want to do a video knowing that this giant Rebirth game is going to come out, and not have the PC release in my hands. So, looking forward to everything that it has to provide. The story, I'm going to be completely honest, I don't even know what's happening in Ever Crisis, really. I know that everything I've seen of Ever Crisis is like Toriyama and Hamaguchi were like, hey, those insane people online who just make these crazy ideas and theories? Let's just cater to them and leave all of this shit out of Rebirth. Which is not actually true. I think that there's actually a fair amount. Dude, honestly, having sat on Rebirth's story, it's amazing. It's actually amazing. My opinion has only gotten better of Rebirth. And I feel like I'm like some sort of copium huffer now because it's just so good. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if I'm disillusioning myself into thinking that it's good, but god damn it. There's just so many good choices made. What's the lore of the adorable frog plush? I saw him in a supermarket, and I decided to buy him. He's the only frog memorabilia I have, but I would like to make some of those in the future myself if possible. The game is a little bit loud.
There. I'll get it down to
Just
10.
get rid of it completely.
No, we want to
needs
hear
it?
the new music.
I want to hear all of the music. But
Yeah.
don't worry about me.
Have you turned yourself up?
Have I turned? No, I have not.
I haven't turned you up either in the world's
I might have
defense.
started speaking louder
Oh,
because I started getting excited.
Oh no, I put you at you were at 15%.
Hell yeah.
So let's make you louder. We'll put you at 161.
Oh.
Right.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
That's that specific amount.
64%.
Okay, fine. Oh, look.
64%.
Look at you, retro nerd.
64%. This controller's pretty good, by the way.
Oh,
Except
really?
for apparently Nintendo put some failsafe things in there to make it more difficult to use it for PC gaming, let's call it.
They put fail safes in there for PC gaming. I see what you're doing.
The PC gaming that Nintendo's so fond of.
Yeah.
That kids are crazy about it.
Notorious PC ports that they
love.
They
and want a lot of money from.
Yeah.
So where are we in the saga of Ever Crisis, Clark? Give me
so we're
fill in.
Okay, we're on episode 2 of The First Soldier. We're now in Wutai. Angeal is here. And we're with this photographer named Robio. There's a woman that looks just like Lucrezia, who's a soldier and hanging out with them. Possible love interest for Angeal. There's also
possible love interest.
Yeah, or something. There's chemistry. Anyways, okay. So this girl that looks like Lucrezia, and Sephiroth is now visited at night in his dreams by Genova, who comes appearing as Lucrezia, who then also talks about his favorite foods and stuff like that, which is pumpkin soup, which he got at the Halloween festival. So it's really clear that the storytelling here blends all of the many worlds possible through the live stream, and Genova has access to them all, right? So in a dream world of alternate Halloween, Pumpkinville, where you're fighting pumpkins, and Glenn and Sephiroth are fighting pumpkins along with Cloud somehow, all of that shit, or they go into the Final Fantasy VI land or whatever. All of that stuff is seemingly accessible to Genova in the live stream, and she uses those things against, to kind of provide a weird, creepy, and unhealthy attachment to Sephiroth in these dream sequences. We've only seen one so far, but my guess is that's going to keep happening here.
Okay. I'm excited. That sounds like all really good stuff.
Yeah,
I love
that's
the Genova
pretty much all you
inserts.
need. What?
Yeah.
It's fine, right?
Whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, dog. What are we doing? Life is hard, and then you die.
Yeah, we're playing video games. That's not hard. That's fun.
So so main section 1, the mission continues. Episode 1, Sephiroth sword. Oh, also, there's this creepy old freaky guy named MASAMUNE that has a sword that Sephiroth was immediately drawn to, and we fought him, and then he went away, and that's where we're at.
Oh, okay.
Can you see the stream, by the way?
I can see it on Twitch.
Okay, good. All right, Bachman. All right. Oh, Bachman's the name of the cameraman. I'm sorry. Bachman. Okay. The soldiers and I returned to the rendezvous point at the edge of the Igara Forbidden Zone, with allies dead and wounded in tow. This is all in Wutai. Bachman. Okay. We discussed our next step until morning. Even though her arm was injured, Alyssa was adamant about continuing her investigation of Robio. Okay. Alyssa is the name of the girl that looks like Lucrezia. And Tifa, kind of, somehow.
So you have Genova, you have Lucrezia, and then you have
Alyssa. But it seems to be intentional, right? Okay. No one objected. Not even Sephiroth. To everyone's surprise, it seemed like Alyssa had won him over. So this is okay. So up to this point, even though he warmed up a lot during episode 1 of First Soldier, like towards Glenn and crew, like the falling out he had with Glenn and all that stuff made him like very closed and cold now. So this is the first he's opened up at all. And we're obviously knowing why. It's because Alyssa looks like, the being he conceptualizes as his mother, Lucrezia, but to him he knows her as Genova. And so he's being weirdly agreeable. Right, I'd best get going. Don't worry. I'll get the fallen soldiers to R&D. Appreciate it.
so that they can go to deep ground.
Yeah. Are you sure you don't need a ride to get that arm looked at? Yeah, so Alyssa got her arm hurt. She's got a bandage around it. My mission isn't finished. Roger that. Good luck. You too! That's Angel.
That's a solid Angel. He's very peppy, kind of like somebody else.
I suppose this will do. Okay, so Sephiroth's like looking at other swords going like, fucking these swords suck. Because he's now seen greatness. He's seen the MASAMUNE.
I guess this is big enough.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, here's Alyssa. See, she looks like Lucrezia, as you can see. You're some big hero, right? To think even you have to manage with standard issue gear. They all cut the same. Okay, bro. Oh yeah? Then why did you pick that one? She's laughing to herself. I just had a feeling.
Oh my god. It's infamous Kate Sith.
Yeah. Okay. Making preparations. Alright, let's...
They're also handsome, Clark.
I know. Really? Hey, Renaissance Elf. Welcome in. Fred Mueller. Lands the Master. Good time zone to you too. Welcome in over on Twitch. Okay. I'm in the way, huh? Of these. Okay, let's move the tall camera out. We can do like this-ish. Here, we can do... No. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. Two. I was wounded. Sure I would die. I definitely didn't expect to get rescued, and by the legendary Sephiroth, no less. Can I tell everyone when I get home? Okay, so she's playful.
That's classified information.
Yeah. You have to get home first.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I'm with you, I don't think I'll have to worry about that.
Uh-oh.
Huh. Oh,
they're already fucking doing it, dude. Why the fuck?
Okay, Alyssa, get out and say, oh yeah, by the way, there's a bunch of purple lords that fly around. No worries. A lot of purple so far in this chapter.
I'm so excited. Oh my god, there's purple gunk.
Yeah.
What is that purple gunk there for?
I don't know, but it summoned a huge toad. It summoned three huge toads.
Not the 3 huge toads. So I'm assuming that does this have any connection to the final boss of the first chapter? Where that giant purple thing came out of the with like a bunch of faces came out of the woodwork.
It feels like it, you know. And by first chapter we mean the first episode. I know.
Sorry, it's yes, first episode.
The first chapter of the second episode's boss was Masamune.
Get my lotion ready. Oh my god.
Sorry, I couldn't help. When I don't have a bum arm, I'm actually a decent fighter. Are you now? Playable Alyssa? Okay.
That would be so cool. That's how they get Lucrezia in the game. They just...
Don't worry about it. Just know I appreciate you. I've got a 6th sense for hungry fiends. Or you've got a 6th sense for hungry fiends, don't you, Angel? So that's interesting.
That's a really, 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 really weird thing to say.
Yeah.
That's like so weird. Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
Oh, is what his reaction to that is. What? Oh, well, there's that fucking purple you're just telling me about.
Yeah. Allies
That's
and
neat.
bonding.
Why is this story neat? Why is it good? No, you haven't missed that much. Hi, Eggs.
Yeah, you haven't missed much at all.
We're just kind of getting
in-game sound effects are very loud. Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
Let me pop open your YouTube chat as well.
Is Alyssa a P0 soldier or enhanced? We don't know. I think she's P0, I would assume. Feels like enhancement isn't... It's hard to know how far enhancement is at this point in the schedule, you know?
Kayla, by the way, sorry, I didn't see your message before. I believe so. I appreciate it. I don't even know if you're still here or not. It must have been a while ago, but...
Hey, Sephiroth. Sorry if this is crossing the line, but... Oh boy. Why are you acting so differently around Alyssa? Oh, he clocked it, and he's jealous. He's jealous. Hands off my woman.
Get away from her, you weirdo.
Dot, dot, dot. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? I thought I would try this bonding thing, treating others as my allies, because that's what Angel told him to do.
Oh, so he's throwing it back in his face.
Yeah, like he's gaslighting Angel. Hey, you told me to be more personable, okay? So don't get mad at me if I steal your girlfriend because she reminds me of my mother.
Oh my god, not my mom. That's such a weird thing that's happening already.
Yeah, but it's Japan, so whatever.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, you know, who are we? Okay, well then, don't let me stop you. Angel, Sephiroth, I need you over here.
I'll be back in 1 second.
Okay, I'm just gonna fight enemies, it's fine. You will miss nothing. Sorry about that. You really saved my ass. Is she part of Hojo Experiments Project G or Project S? So, Hojo really has very little to do with Project G. And as far as like Project S, that's definitely Hojo's project, if there were a thing called Project S. But it sounds like he also has other projects and like is real loose with labeling. Like he has something called, at least in the novels, the Picturing the Past novel, it talks about the Reunion Project. So the Reunion Project is different from Project S, and it involves specifically injecting Mako poisoned subjects with presumably Sephiroth cells or S cells specifically. I can't wait for Genesis to come in future chapters of Ever Crisis for sure. Sorry about that. You really saved my ass. Everything okay over there? You doing good? Sleepezi?
I'm back. Sorry, I just had to mute my mic.
Yeah, you're good. Everything good over there?
Oh yeah, it's just work.
Yeah.
But I'm back. Did I miss anything?
No. Nope. Other than that, I can't get where our cameras are supposed to be right. But that's okay. We'll just travel around the canvas. Okay. Leave it
Thank
to
you, Miss
soldiers,
Moon.
huh?
Wait, there was a Genesis mention?
No, not yet.
Oh my god.
No, they're just fucking with you. I would never
dare.
not tell you that. Okay.
You would that would be the first thing out of your mouth. I know you. I know this.
So yeah, also there's commentary about these two not really getting along, not being in sync. But they're just still so powerful that it doesn't matter. We'll only get better from here on out. Angel!
So this is all just set up for Genova sort of cellular relationship / development of horrible Sephiroth psyche / and Jill's almost now like parental role.
Yeah,
perhaps.
and it's also showing like the very much not recontextualized, but like reinforcing the context of how much influence Genova has over the entire development of Sephiroth's character from a very early age, and Sephiroth's or Genova's influence in the world at large.
And, yes, and what that sort of effect is sort of leading into perhaps maybe rebirth.
Yeah. Well, or part 3.
Or part 3.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. All of that, and they're doing it in a really interesting way.
Sephiroth says,
they need to remake Ever Crisis.
If you say it, yeah, they should. Yeah, Ever Crisis Rebirth.
I would be.
Also, Bachman's vibe. Look at the dude wearing glasses. Here,
he's actually Hollander.
Here,
he's just Hollander underneath those glasses. A young, handsome Hollander.
And Gio.
Oh my god, Vincent's artwork.
I know, it's so good.
Unbelievable. How's the music so far?
It's the same. It's kind of, we're not getting like crazy tracks yet. Yeah, look, okay, God. Alright, here, let's move back. Okay. From the looks of it, Alyssa's more of an Angeal type. Oh!
Uh-oh. Oh! He's fucking with him.
Bachman's out here like he's on Twitter. You
He's
know?
TMZing. He's TMZing
Yeah.
Sephiroth
Yeah.
right now.
He's
He's
stirring
throwing
it
him under
up.
the bus. We're gonna have a Quentin Tarantino coffee situation.
The world's first Alice Geel shipper. What do you mean? He turns around immediately. This is how he dies. Remember what we talked about? How soldiers think and how they live? On the one hand, we have you, who ignores others and focuses solely on becoming a one-man killing machine. Then we have Angeal, who finds strength in the trust he builds with others. Like, how often are they going to juxtapose these two styles, for the
Yeah,
purpose?
wasn't there? There's definitely a very clear,
Yeah.
like, Sephiroth doing things himself and
Yeah.
sort of achieving his sort of goal only solely by himself, and
Yeah.
then the power of friendship on the other end, which again is very much just going right back into Rebirth, where it's like Sephiroth wants like it all to be him, and then the power of like the collective, and anyway.
Indeed. Yeah. Collective unconscious. Okay. So, all right. Okay. If you ask me, I'd say Alyssa's probably the second type, is what Bachman says.
Oh, of
Thinks
like
about
soldier?
others. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And then Alyssa just comes in and says, Sephiroth, help. I got this. Get back, Alyssa. Look at this. Look at this.
This is such a
Hands
weird
off
chapter,
my
dude.
mommy.
Ugh.
This is so healthy. This is so healthy. I love it.
I like how Angeal's is clearly like just a normal jealousy, and then like not realizing the unhinged man standing next to him is
no idea
having
what's
a
going
horrible
on.
parental issue mentally with what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he could never understand the extent to which Hojo did a number on that poor boy.
Yeah, honestly, it's a pretty heavy-handed yes.
It's
All of it is
heavy-handed,
very, very heavy-handed, and it's just because I am imagining you kind of have to be, because it's just
it's serialized
story.
storytelling. Yeah, it's so yeah. Yes, it's animated, but by all accounts, you can call this basically like comic book style storytelling, right? And so you have to make these big, giant, like heavy sweeps so that you can tell a story in a few, slides.
And I will say that it is giving. So where I could compare this to like my guilty pleasure of a soap opera.
Yeah.
of content. The actual character motivations and the character building and their direction is substantial to build a layer to then build on top of.
Yeah.
So a lot of that comes into play with the fact that we have Crisis Core to compare to as development, and then also just the idea of this being a prequel where there's so much unwritten, and there's so much that it is that has already happened in our brains to give context to what is being said.
Yeah.
That really amplifies pretty much everything that's happening, regardless of how like big or small. Remake does that a lot too. So
yeah. Well, look, here we go. Alyssa said, a soldier crying out for help like that? Boy, is my face red right now. So she's embarrassed.
Honestly, she is the most suspicious motherfucker.
I know. You're injured.
She is the most just weird person.
Yeah, she is. Angeal says, you're injured. You did what was best. Hey, Alyssa, I want your opinion on something. Oh, this motherfucker. Like,
yeah, here you
body's
go.
still on the ground. Body's still on the ground. Hey, I want your opinion on something. Do you think a soldier should be a lone wolf? Or do you think they should work as a team and strive to push each other?
What a fucking
It really
nightmare.
depends on the person.
Oh.
As a soldier, I'm nothing special, but I've always been proud to provide dependable support for our top operatives. But like this, I can't even do that for you guys. I'm just dead weight. Sorry. Sephiroth, I don't need any support. Just focus on the investigation. Smooth, bro.
I don't need
Smooth.
anyone's
You're
help.
never gonna seduce your mother like that. Okay. Angel, we couldn't uncover Robio's secrets without you. That's the area. Yeah.
You just got an Ever Crisis ad? Well.
Well. Well.
I wonder why.
Well. Okay. Igara and Wutai. With our equipment sorted, we set out once again to finish the investigation of Robio. Igara Forbidden Zone. We're still a ways from finding our destination. Time for a break? I don't need a break. I can keep going, just slow down a bit. I can't keep up with my damn arm like this. And you just...
You use your arm to walk?
Yeah, what? Why? Can I see your walking animation again?
Oh, I guess they're climbing shit. Is that what
probably
it is?
Probably climbing shit.
Okay.
It's a journey, okay?
It is. It's a journey. Alyssa's...
Yeah, let's turn down the pace a notch. I'm not trained for this, so my legs are killing me. Well, at least it's the right part of your body, okay?
Abandoned Bachman.
Yeah. We've got plenty of time, so we can take it easy. Okay, Angio. Sephiroth, you take the lead. Don't tell me what to do, even if it's to tell you what to do. Out of context rocks.
Definitely not suspicious.
Hey, look at this.
Are these meteorites?
You can see that these rocks were melted under high temperatures. It's evidence that powerful fire magic was once used in this area.
Oh.
Interesting.
Neat.
Around 2,000 years ago, the ancients arrived to tame the land.
Arrived?
What?
The ancients arrived? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
The ancients, so the Cetra came to Wutai 2,000 years ago.
They
named this place Igara and expanded their territory southward. Before a century had passed, Igara was transformed from a barren wasteland into lush, fertile grasslands. But then, without warning, a fearsome beast invaded the region. Its attack on the village claimed the lives of its people and their animals. The fiend existed only to slaughter. What was its name? The stories don't give it a name. The people of Igara didn't want it to be remembered.
It can't be remembered.
Eventually, a group of warriors arose to kill the beast. They pursued
the Knights of the
it
Round.
south. After a fierce battle, they incinerated their foe with scorching magic. Okay, so...
This is Genova. Right?
2,000 years ago, right? So that's about when we expect the calamity from the skies. So why are the Cetra even in this region? The Cetra were like the itinerant race on this planet already. So were they fleeing Genova?
Yeah.
To come to a new, previously uninhabited portion of the planet. They pursued it south, and after a fierce battle, they incinerated their foe with scorching magic. And that was that? The monster was dead, but the magic they unleashed was so strong that the earth caught fire. even where it shouldn't have.
This
As the
is
flames
this is
spread, the warriors
exactly
hurried north to Warnagara village. One by one, they succumbed to the growing inferno, but one of them made it. Da Chow! Oh, shit. Da
that is
Chow was a
insane.
Cetra. That's fucking tight.
That is such a weird tie-in.
That's fucking
That's
tight.
the child, the final warrior, arrived in time to help his people flee to safety. Chow beans or Cetra beans? Chow is the Wutaian like
God. Deity.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the statue that we fight Don Corneo on in the original Final Fantasy VII.
Alyssa, but although they were saved, the fire burned for 3 years, engulfing their home and the land surrounding it.
No.
Damn, that's quite the fire. There's some gasoline under there. Yeah. Rebuilding was deemed impossible, and the villagers of Agara moved north to create a new settlement. That was how Wutai began.
So Wutai is also a descendant of an ancient people.
Yeah. Chirobio. Okay, let's go.
That is
that's
all
good
very
shit,
interesting
man.
stuff. And also it's again the poetry it rhymes thing happening with the incinerary magic is that the planet's overcorrection of a problem to the point in which you incinerate all life rather than just the problem, i.e. the weapons, i.e. Holy magic. All of that is connected to this sort of fable of what is going on with, this land and its sort of backstory. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff. Uh-oh, there's an item.
Watch yourselves. The fog
Yes.
is thick up ahead. Damn. How am I going to get my footage? When we first got here, we placed some of our belongings on the ground to use as landmarks. Can we look for them? They shouldn't be hard to find, and I want something to remember my team by. No problem. We'll find them. Their team all dead, by the way. Okay.
No.
This fog isn't going to make things easy.
Oh my god, not the fog.
I can clear it away. Not for long. But it should be enough for our purpose.
Oh.
Thanks, you guys.
Also, to be super clear, the story said that the unnamed beast is dead, but the reality is that all this purple shit that's here is very clearly because of the thing that used to be here.
Yeah.
So now there's the reason why we're seeing all of this other stuff, the purple wisps, the goo, probably Sephiroth's like episodes that are happening are very related to his closeness, his vicinity to his mother.
Yeah, this purple juice, yeah. Like we might find out. So, okay. One of my favorite theories, and I had this thought too, and I think Turk and Odie and I have talked about this too, is that the idea that Ever Crisis is entirely from Sephiroth's perspective. And what if the veil is lifted at some point and we see Alyssa from another person's perspective?
No, it's somebody else. That's exactly what's going to happen,
like Lucrezia.
Yes, yeah. That's exactly what I've been expecting myself. Yeah. It's just like this. There's no way she looks like this. There's there's no canonical way that she is just identical.
It's not like some bizarre, Lucrezia therapy to get when you get Sephiroth cells or Genova cells. You don't just start looking like Lucrezia. Although
Right.
that's something
He's
that
being
I mean,
gaslit.
theoretically, isn't like impossible, but it's unlikely. Okay, don't mention it.
So
Let's go.
even on top of that, to think, because when somebody is dying or having like an episode in the live stream, they see people that they care about
Mm-hmm.
too. That is probably a part of what's happening with Sephiroth and Genova is that sort of mimicry, that rhyming of but it's a distressing person. It's not a person that is here to comfort. It's actually there to sort of dismantle. Very interesting stuff. There's no way that that's Lucrezia.
Or that it looks like Lucrezia.
It's actually just Genesis.
Yeah.
It's Genesis, and they're fighting over Genesis. That would be what the unannounced DLC that will never get made.
Yeah,
for Rebirth's reveal.
Yeah. I'm okay with no DLC. Just get the game out. Just get part 3 out. I can't do this anymore. I need.
I agree that it has a shelf life.
Yeah.
The endurance of your audience, and you don't want a Kingdom Hearts 3 situation where you go through like a Toy Story 3 arc of like, I'm now an adult, and now like we have to factor that in to the messaging of the meta of the conversation.
Right.
However, as personally, I will say I am definitely bummed because I definitely was feeling that the next DLC was probably going to be
the Genesis
more aligned
one?
to my interests. Yeah, maybe.
The Genesis Vincent one, yeah.
A Genesis Vincent or just like a Zack Genesis DLC would be awesome. Unfortunately, we probably will not be getting that. And maybe we'll get some additional content after the game's actually finished. Yeah. But who knows?
And he also said that, I mean, who knows if there's enough interest in the PC version, it could happen. Which PC version seems to be doing pretty good on Steam, so buy that.
Buy 3 copies, chat.
Buy 3 copies, all of you.
For Genesis.
I will be giving away some in late January. I'll give a couple Steam codes out. That's a pretty big sword on your back, Angeal. Why don't you use it? So Alyssa says this, and then all of a sudden Sephiroth probably wants a bigger sword. It's more of a good luck charm. Must give it a lot of luck. You should get a more impressive sword too. Oh, your mother's pointing at your sword and laughing. You're a hero after all. You deserve something that shows everyone how exceptional you are. I can get behind that. It'll look great on film. Fucking porno Dan over here.
Yeah, he's got the camera rolling. Here's the couch. Honestly, this is hilarious. Because now the only reason that Sephiroth has the MASAMUNE is because he wanted to make sure he was being shown as manly.
Don't be ridiculous. Okay. A young man of refined taste, I see. Yeah, I need that sword. Actually, now that I think about it, perhaps you're right. Trust me, it'd be for the best. Gotta clear out this purple smoke. Dude, no. Go. Here. Yeah, give me that secret.
PlayStation 5 is definitely the system that the third part is coming out on, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the goal is 2027, so
Probably towards, albeit like probably a little bit of an end of lifespan, but
Yeah.
not horribly so. And also imagining that the deal that they signed with PlayStation is probably for the PS5 specifically. That's just my own head canon, obviously, but I feel like they probably signed the whole thing off to be like, hey, we want this to be a PS5 game.
My personal guess is that they're kind of done with exclusivity starting
Oh
part
yeah,
3.
moving
Yeah.
forward.
I think part 3 will come out on anything that will take
Everything?
it. Yeah.
That is awesome to hear. I would love to see that. That would be the ideal scenario, I think.
Is this what we're looking for?
And then also just having the entire trilogy out is going to really bring in a lot of people. And then also, like, depending on how the game is received and its payoff,
Mm-hmm.
you could be looking at a entirely different sort of like lifespan for the game.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully indeed.
Does that mean that he stores his sword in his butt? Chat thoughts. Everyone stores all of their weapons in their butts.
Yeah.
There's a clip with Aerith pulling her staff out randomly during a scene where I think it's either like Cloud or Tifa like fall off of something in Remake, and Aerith just magically gets the staff back. So everyone whose weapon is not available to them is just a butt plug.
It's in their butt, yeah. It's in their butt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. And if you're wondering who's responsible, Toriyama. Because why
Toriyama
not?
definitely made that decision.
Yeah.
According to Hamaguchi.
The twisted and gnawing. Is there music? Okay. Yeah, there's some music. Obviously, I got to go to a fun event while I was down there. Had some fun quality time with a lot of the staff and devs, and some of those interviews have been able to get released. My good friend Hayes released his Inverse interview, and there was some good stuff in there, like he asked about the love triangle, which was bold of him. Got an answer that already got people talking, and I'm not gonna weigh in on that. I think it's fine, whatever. But I'm just happy when people ask questions that not everybody's asking. Melissa, you two make it look so easy, so effortless. I wish I could fight by your side. Are you an active model? Okay. Yeah, modified with special cells. Oh, wow.
That's why she looks different. That's
Okay.
why the illusion's being created.
I've heard that those cells were grown from something they scraped off of a meteorite. You know anything about that?
Holy
What?
shit.
A crock. You aren't the one spreading that ridiculous rumor, are you? I'll shut up. Yeah, good idea, Porno Dan.
You're gonna never see the light of day because of that.
Yeah, you're a rogue,
thing.
dog. You're a future rogue.
You're done,
okay,
dude.
so active model or passive model, right? So P0s sounds like they don't have any cells, right? But active models do. So we don't know if she's G or one of the other S's, or if there's more
she's
than...
gotta be... She's gotta be S.
Yeah.
Or just blatantly just a Genova like project.
Yeah, she could be something new or different that we haven't heard about previously. Gotta clear out the fog on this. Okay, so
They're
that's
kind
this
of
way.
building this team out a little bit like, and this is a random thought. I don't know if they'll actually do anything with this, but I'm starting to feel like they're making an allusion to the party as well. A little bit. You have sort of like a tree, like a team forming here that could easily be sort of compared to Cloud's party. So like Aerith and Lucrezia's character, the Alyssa character, Cloud and Sephiroth, and Jill and Tifa. I don't know, but there's definitely some things they're playing around with for sure.
Zach Elmira.
Oh, what are you doing in January, by the way?
Oh, like, I don't know, stuff. Am I coming over for the Dragon Ball Z thing?
If you want to.
I might. Yeah.
I was gonna say we should definitely utilize the space if we have a couple people here.
Oh
just
yeah,
to, like,
if we could get you guys have a streamer home.
We do. I was just saying, like, just because it's a big place.
Yeah.
Like, just to hang out and talk and whatever. But yeah, we could also do that too.
Is this what we're looking for? Yeah, it is.
The devs say that Angel and Aerith actually had a conversation off camera in Crisis Core. They did, because we see the start of that conversation. That question is based off of the by the way, I see Delta Sin. Hi, hi Delta. That cutscene plays out in Crisis Core when Angel's feather lands outside of the church. Which, by the way, feels like, sort of without kind of clearly announcing it, that in Crisis Core, Angel mentions that he is waging a battle against all that creates suffering. And in Rebirth, you have the discussion of a war between White Whispers and Black Whispers. Wink. Aerith and Angel are aligned. They are fighting on the same team, so to speak. So, that's the reason why you're sort of, why that conversation is important, what the lead in to the larger story is. And honestly, I think that they've done an impressive job with that. Just kind of how Rebirth has rounded out so much of the discussion of prior plot points, prior themes and everything. Rebirth does an exceptional job of taking what used to have to be explained in theory videos, essays, and things like that, and really just kind of makes it a story that is enjoyable. And that is actually one of, like, the reasons why, like, I haven't even really said too much about the game, because the game also just kind of speaks for itself. At any point for me to say anything, it would just be to be like, this is what I liked about the game, and, like, these are the things, but all the connections are there. They're very tangible connections that anybody can find now, which is great. So Ever Crisis just is like the wild fantasy of what happened before, and sort of just creating more of that legacy for the game. But it's not like Crisis Core or Dirge of Cerberus back in the day, where it feels very disconnected. Everything that's happening here actively plays into the story that now feels cohesive. So which is a really big plus. It's one of the reasons why you have like Max Dude and all these people being like, why isn't this in the base game? Because the story is actively creating like a bigger, larger concept of what Final Fantasy VII is, not the compilation and its sort of errand parts. It's very cohesive.
Stay sharp, we've got company. Haven't seen any beasts like this before. They look as vicious as the environment they're in. They're in our way,
that does not look vicious,
down.
Dude.
Yeah, that looks cute, dude. Why are you being mean?
I wish that Sephiroth had just said something about like that. Just been like, that's adorable.
That's so cute. Give me.
Damn.
Renaissance Self, my only big problem in Rebirth is how limited they were at introducing the more compilation characters. So I do think about that often. It's like they added a lot of new characters too. And I feel like could have they just added, you know, compilation characters instead of like turning Solemn Gus into, you know, a full-blown character, and then adding, you know, bringing characters that were like introduced in remake, you know, like the trio, Andrea, you know, Sam and Madam M. Like, could have they just introduced more? I'm actually glad that they introduced some new characters, and I'm glad that they kept those characters like relevant, you know, through because they are kind of like unique to 7R and 7R's identity. But I do want to see more compilation characters, you know.
They need to do that, and I think the advantage that they now have with Part 3, because with Part 2, I was like super wanting them to, sorry, I know that there's dialogue, I'll let you.
Oh yeah, now that will play nicely. What, us slaughtering an adorable owlbear? Alyssa.
Yeah, that'll go well on the
internet.
Look,
Robio. We found Robio. Stick to us like glue, alright? Roger that. Let's hurry. Or maybe what happens is that after, all of a sudden after Sephiroth either gets the Masamune or gets whatever he needs, whatever she's leading him to, she'll no longer look to him like Lucrezia, and that's how we will know, because they still do think that there's a good shot that all of First Soldier's true perspective is through Sephiroth's eyes. He's the player character in this segment, you know.
This is the lead up to Cloud's mental break, but with Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Is that we are under an assumption that Sephiroth is like maybe just a little tortured, but not like, but there's something going on, that a mystery. And once he breaks mentally, it's about what he becomes after that, not what he was before, which, you know, might be implied in the title of like Rebirth. Something being reconstructed after it's, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
A really big part of the game.
Yeah. Really big. Okay, let's get this investigation started. Alyssa, give us the rundown. Right, so before we begin, I should catch you up on the history of this village. This next chapter takes place about 500 years ago, long after the 5 warriors bested that beast. Beastbusters. For a long time, people stayed away from this place, but eventually a group of brave settlers decided to try their luck. They were ancients too.
So 500 years ago, there was still...
Cetera.
Well, obviously, because we still have, you know...
The Aerith, yeah.
Aerith.
But they live a long time. So, this, I mean, Athalna could literally be from here.
Jesus Christ.
Jenna Ray, you're having an issue with one of the winter missions, the Burn to R1 Star one. I can't figure out how to get it to count. Huh. That sucks, by the way. I'm sorry. I haven't played with any of the Burn to R stuff yet, but I might be able to take a look here. Okay. For a long time, people stayed away from this place, but eventually a group of raid settlers tried their luck. They were ancients too. By that time, their numbers were already greatly diminished, but they still had the knowledge to revive the desolate lands. It flourished once again. The settlers' camp became a village, and that's the Robio you see here. Damn. It was brought back once only to be destroyed again. What happened the second time? That's what I aim to find out. First, we need to make a map of the village. Then we can expect the ruins of the major buildings. Sounds like a standard procedure. I don't think I'll get any film worth keeping. Don't be so sure. This is where my team was wiped out after all. These stones, they were lined up the same way at the rendezvous point. The people of Wutai apparently placed them around Igara as sort of a barrier. They wanted to keep something from getting out. That doesn't bode well. What did we walk into? Purple top. Whoa!
I love this. Immediately, I love this.
Purple Cetra ghosts.
Look
What
at this
the
little kid
hell?
dancing.
Yeah. Illusions? Are they showing us the past? No way. God, just go the fuck away. Let's get...
What are you doing here? Why are you ruining it? Game? Oh, God. Oh, it's not that bad.
That's fascinating lore. So far, so good with this lore. This lore is fucking killing it. I was expecting this to not be very good. I don't know why. I think fucking Odie told me that there wasn't anything in here. He's the liar. This is awesome.
He's a big liar.
Alright. It was a red herring. Okay. Did you guys all see that?
This is interesting.
Yeah, but what was it?
Because this is something that we have heard before.
No idea, but I think we were meant to see it. It's our mission to find out what it is, isn't it? The stone barriers aren't the only thing strange about this place. Yeah, thanks. Right, there's got to be a clue somewhere.
Genova hallucination is what we're getting at here.
Robio's horrors.
Robio's horrors. Different.
They just walk into a like Cetran ghost brothel.
This is where the first golden saucer was founded.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. Okay. Well, Square Enix.
I was thinking about Don Corneo's mansion.
Were you?
Not golden saucer.
Square Enix finally got a Blue Sky account.
No way.
Yeah, I'm getting notifications about this. Square-Enix-Games.com. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna re-skeet it on my Blue Sky if you guys need it. Okay. Alright. Re-skeeted. These are burn marks. What the hell happened here? Not just here. They cover the whole village. A fire engulfed everything? Did something erupt nearby? Oh. Oh no! This again.
It's the monster. It's the unnamed beast.
This is poetry, dog. Okay. This again. It rhymes. Put out fire. Burns down. Bring the hurry. What? Oh, Masamune slaughtered him! Dude, okay, so Masamune...
No, this is an illusion.
What?
The Genova is creating the illusion that Masamune killed the village.
Okay.
That's my take. He's trying to pit them against each other.
Another illusion? I'm starting to see why they call it the Forbidden Zone. Something or someone attacked. I wonder if it's what really happened. Why did they seal this place away? Are they trying to conceal an uncomfortable truth by erasing the past? Yeah, they do that. I'd never let that happen to me.
Really? Are you sure?
Is Masamune the child? That would be so fucked up, dude.
Oh, whoa. That would be neat. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think it's a Genova illusion. I think it's history.
He's just a straight up murderer?
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's already clearly murdered several people in the first episode or first chapter. Like, the dude's not a good dude. Like, Masamune is fucked, right? But it could be because the Masamune blade itself is somehow like fucking Sauron coated with the One Ring. But it's also unclear how old he is. He could be 500 years old. He could have Cetra blood. Lifespans are now like a fucking tenuous nonsense. But the thing is that Robio could see it also. Or not Robio, I'm sorry, Bachman could see it too. He could see the illusion as well. So, I mean, I guess, yeah. There are a lot of illusions. Like, Genova's powerful as shit, so she can show illusions to I don't know, special people too, but still, it feels like that's just like literally... I think it's rhyming shit, again. A land of illusions and monsters. This place gives me the creeps. I'll be glad to get out of here. We aren't leaving for a while yet. We barely got started. Did your camera get anything? Good call. Let me play back the footage I just shot. Bzz, bzz. Huh, I hear something, but there's no picture. Just put out the fire before it all burns down. Bring the water, hurry. Help, someone help. So the camera captured it too. Wow.
They're real.
Guess I caught it after all. Now we can work on figuring out the meaning behind those illusions.
A side quest has started.
Robio's Secrets. This is way better than I thought. This is how... Yeah, this is Queen's Blood. A statue. What's it meant to be? Oh man, if it's DeChao... Oh... I wonder.
It's definitely DeChao, dude. Look at him.
It's too beat up to tell. A power that would cause this much destruction can be nothing short of immense. Do you think it was that thing we saw attacking the villagers? Does that mean the illusion really happened? Is that what they're trying to keep sealed away? They wanted to bury it along with everything else. Look. There it is. The Fiend. We're done for. We'll all be killed. That was ugly. Whatever was sealed here was the source of all this destruction. They want these secrets to stay buried, but we'll dig them up.
I am probably gonna have to step away.
Okay.
I'm going to just be right back for now, but I might come back and just have to go.
Okay, that's fine.
Unfortunately. Let me just mute my mic. If I don't come back,
Yeah.
this has been a blast. This fucking chapter is awesome.
So far, yeah.
Whoever said anything else is a liar.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that little knife.
This is the knife the villager dropped. It's looking more and more that those illusions showed things that actually happened. So the people of Wutai sealed this village away together with that monster. They didn't stand a chance.
So the monster came back. Shocking.
I don't think, yeah, to Wutai, anyone willing to live in such a strange place was probably deemed inhuman. And so they did something inhuman in turn. That's just how people are. Anything different from themselves can be understood and must be eliminated. Anything different isn't human. Whoa. Whoa. Setting precursors for xenophobia. That includes us soldiers. Damn. Not all people are like that. I'll make you see. Good luck, Angeal. Spoiler alert. Doesn't end up well. Main section 3. An unknown power. The weaponsmith. Has anyone played Clive? I've played him for a little bit. He's an advanced character and I like that. I like that they didn't like... I mean, he's still strong, but he's not like broken like Noctis was. Noctis was like, he was designed to be like an entry point into the series for people that don't play Tekken but love Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 16, I think, just by the nature of its action system, probably allowed people to, I think, more comfortably understand the technicality of fighting games, and so they didn't make him as like, he's still a busted character. He has a bunch of kind of broken damage combos and stuff like that I think he'll get some balance changes, but like they slowed him down. They made a lot of his more advanced executions like kind of beyond entry level, which I think is good. So that's my take. Sleepezi might not be back, but so I'm gonna turn his camera off right now and we'll get through this. Okay. The winter missions thing? Okay, hold on. After this, I will. Robio, Waterwell area. Alyssa, this is the center of Robio. The people would gather here to share stories and hold celebrations. But it was also where the village's doom began. Okay, it's weird that Alyssa knows that. Okay, through the camera, we see Masamune. It happened many years ago. Robio's tools and weapons were the responsibility of a single smith. Her bandage is gone. Robio's tools and weapons were the responsibility of a single smith. One day he took up his hammer as if possessed and poured all of his energy into crafting a remarkable blade. It is a Cetron blade. It was more than a mere weapon. It was a work of art. But you've heard the old adage that beauty can lead the heart astray. That's what happened here. The villagers started fighting amongst themselves to claim the sword as their own. Some even attempted to sneak into the smith's home and steal it for themselves. In defense of his masterwork, the old man turned it against his fellow man. That's when everything went wrong. There we go. Sephiroth coded, unable to trust the people he once served, the smith stalked the village by night, slaying the villagers one by one. Still, they coveted the sword, and their greed prevented them from banding together to fight as one. This is crazy. They started killing each other, and it wasn't long before no one left. There was no one left. That's all it took for them to turn on each other. You found all this out in just a few days. How? You guys see it too, don't you? The monster? Oh, she's... Okay, it's been a couple of days. The accursed smith who destroyed his own home? MASAMUNE? You guys see it too. Is she going crazy? Oh, fuck. He was seduced by the sword he forged as much as anyone else. Bro!
The fuck did I just walk in on?
Whoa!
The fuck is this? What the fuck?
You're back, dude. How long do you have?
I have a bit.
Okay.
Just like maybe like 30 more minutes.
Okay. We're retiring and starting over, so you can see this. Okay, so they're not human. They're all Cetron, by the way. This is the Cetra.
They're all Cetra, even MASAMUNE.
Yeah. So this is a Cetron blade. It's a Cetron blade forged by like a bizarre dark influence that seeped through the country. So okay, Alyssa is this is the center of Robio. The people would gather here to share stories and hold celebrations. Okay, it's apparently a couple days later, but things to note. Alyssa no longer has a bandage. Okay.
Oh, okay. She's better.
Right, and she suddenly knows all this stuff. The people would gather here to share stories and hold celebrations. So watch this, okay? But it was also where the village's doom began. And then she looks over here, right? And then these illusions appear. Right?
This
it's
is
almost
insane.
as if she's recalling.
She is doing this. Yeah.
She's doing it. So, Alyssa, it happened many years ago. So here's MASAMUNE. Robio's tools and weapons were the responsibility of a single smith. One day, he took up his hammer as if possessed, poured all of his energy into crafting a remarkable blade. It was more than a mere weapon. It was a work of art. So listen to the way Alyssa is talking about this thing, too. Like, as if
she's enchanted by it, too. She's into it. She's evil as fuck.
You've heard the old adage that beauty can lead the heart astray.
And that's her, by the way. She's making a self-reference there. Yeah. That's the reason that
that's
line
what
exists.
happened here. The villagers started fighting amongst themselves to claim the sword as their own. Some even attempted to sneak into the smith's home and steal it for themselves. In defense of his masterwork, the old man turned it against his fellow man. But when everything went wrong...
This is such a cooler backstory to the MASAMUNE than I could have thought. It's so much better.
I know. Unable to trust people he once served, the Smith stalked the village by night, slaying the villagers one by one.
This doesn't sound familiar. This doesn't
Still,
sound...
they coveted the sword, and their greed prevented them from banding together to fight as one. They started killing each other, and it wasn't long before there was no one left. That's all it took for them to turn on each other? You found all this out in just a few days? How? You guys see it too, don't you? Immediately letting us know. She's gone. She's one of them. You guys see it too, don't you? The monster.
Jesus Christ. Look at her. She's literally Sephiroth posing.
The accursed Smith who destroyed his own home. Masamune. Okay, they're bringing up something really good in chat right now too, which which has been nagging me here, and I wanted to bring it up too. So, what's wild about this being a Cetran weapon, like made of Genova's will, is that Sephiroth regularly uses this weapon to open portals.
Yes.
In Remake and Rebirth.
Yes, this is exactly where I was going to mentally.
Reality-tearing weapon. Okay, the accursed Smith who destroyed his own home, Masamune. And then here he is. He was seduced by the sword he forged as much as anyone else.
All of the orbs are around him now too, so this is also... This is crazy. Let me see a sick portrait for Masamune. Oh, he's got some like cracks in his back I wanted to see.
Yeah.
He's been stabbed is why. What the fuck?
I'll handle this. Get back. Maybe if you'd asked nicely, but no dice. Demon Masamune.
All-encompassing darkness. This fucking story is fucking crazy.
This is good.
This is great. You have Nibelheim illusions. You have just a really interesting... Oh god, what is he gonna do now?
And sadly, this does disconfirm all of Phil's theories, but that's okay. It's still very good. He was close. He was in the ballpark.
I mean, yeah, we had a Masamune backstory period, so...
Yeah. He's been here all this time. How many hundreds of years has it been? Right? Cetrans live a long time. The soldiers were all cut to shreds. Was that the work of that old man? Oh, and she slow walks. Before, you asked me how I gathered all that intel so quickly. Oh, here we go! I didn't gather it. The scenes just came to me like they were my own memories. Terrible memories. Like those illusions we've been seeing? This land is home to a mysterious power. Safe to say our work isn't done until we find out what it is. That sword, Masamune, it calls to me. It yearns to become mine. A bell? Where'd it come from? Over there, hurry. Episode 2, The Sound of the Bell.
So yes, and Rebirth, the sword is also targetable. So as a really oh my god, wait, this looks so cool.
Place. Look at this place. Sleepezi!
I don't even know, dude.
Look at it. Okay, the sound is coming inside here. Okay, so it's like a Dachau Temple of the Ancients sort of thing. All right? Okay. The sound is coming from inside here. Old cavern entrance. It's also got Petra vibes. It feels like someone's calling us.
Oh my god.
Who? That old coot? It could be whoever or whatever is keeping him alive. What are you on about? I sense a powerful will, but I don't know who it belongs to. Or maybe it's nothing. But I can say one thing for sure. The sword is meant to be in my hands. You're acting strange, Sephiroth. I say we get out of here. I'm going in. I need to get that blade back. Back? Back? I need to get that blade back! Sequel confirmed. No.
I mean...
Sephiroth.
Give me 1 second.
Wait. Okay. I'm gonna let him take this call. This is so good! Okay. As soon as he comes back, I'll click continue. You okay there, big dog?
Back! He wants the sword back!
He wants it back. Sephiroth, wait.
He wants it back?
You can't give me orders.
What is happening, dude?
Maybe you're right, but that wasn't an order. We have a wounded soldier and a civilian with us. We can't take any more risks than we have to.
Angeal, shut the fuck up.
We need to know
Let
what
the
the
man
fuck is
work.
going on, Angeal.
Clearly, so here's the other thing is that Angeal is not feeling the pull.
Yeah, G cells, dog. G cells. Or it's just the way that he was made, right? Like, he's always been somewhat, like, resistant to the...
He is the center.
Yeah.
He is his own sort of Genova center. He's
Yeah.
integrated her cells as a conduit of other cells that he distributes. Sephiroth is just a piece of Genova in the same way that, and then maybe subsequently more a part of her than he's kind of like becoming the center. But right now, he's feeling the influence. She's probably feeling the influence because she has some sort of DNA also attached to that.
To
this
S.
is all
yeah,
fucking crazy. But back is insane.
Yeah.
I have to get the sword back.
It's almost
what does
nightfall.
that even mean?
I don't know. We'll camp here for the night and explore the cave tomorrow. Fine. We'll leave at first light.
There's no way we're getting into this cave.
Not today. Works for me. It'll give us time to search every nook and cranny. I keep wondering about that bell. Can't wait to see what we find. Okay. Yeah, you're trying so hard to die, Alyssa. Okay.
The bell is creepy as fuck.
The date has changed. You've changed!
I have some coffee in me now, right at the inopportune moment. Wow, dude, this is so good.
This is kind of crazy, man.
I'm honestly kind of shocked. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm actually shocked every time this fucking chapter, a new chapter of this comes out, that it actually is good.
It's good. It's good, bro.
It's so good. The Nibelheim incident replay, Masamune. I love the idea of. Also, the Masamune is also like a parallel to like corrupting materia a little bit. It's the created by Cetra, but corrupted by Genova. I love that background. I need that background actually.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are. Okay. The sound of the bell. Okay, so the story beyond. The cave awaits. Okay. Okay, so here's like... So that was the main section.
Oh my god, there's actually more?
Yeah, there's 3 more, like, story only, like, the story beyond. The cave awaits. Bachman's journal.
The fuck?
Angeal degrades, but Sephiroth doesn't. That's probably why. I mean, Angeal only degrades when he uses his shit. He doesn't necessarily have to degrade. Okay. You should get some rest, Bachman. Tomorrow's gonna be an early day. But I do agree that it's like the fundamental difference between the way the 2 soldiers are made and probably the way that Alyssa was quote-unquote made. You should get some rest, Bachman. Tomorrow's gonna be an early day. I hear you loud and clear. I just want to check the footage I got today first. Yeah, check that footage.
Well, and also,
Alyssa was
to be
determined
clear
to finish her mission. So much so we'll talk after. So much so that Sephiroth and Angeal decided to help her see it through. When we set foot in the Agar Forbidden Zone, untouched by Inhumans for centuries, we saw that its countless scars ran deeper than we could have imagined.
Your scars run deeper than you imagined.
2,000 years ago, 5 brave souls drove a fiend from their homes with scorching fire. The endless flames burned down their homes and sent them fleeing into what would become Wutai. In time, they came to fear and loathe the blasted wasteland, naming it the Forbidden Zone. Generations passed, and eventually a new people would tame the inhospitable land. It is here Robio Village came to be. But even that brief period of prosperity was cut short by the brutal actions of a crazed weaponsmith. It is a land steeped in tragedy. The people living here were sealed away by the Wutaians, left to tear each other apart. Sephiroth seemed to have some kinship to the people who once lived here. Whatever force drove them to their doom might drive the legend to new heights of heroism. He's already changing. He seems to be more aware of his status as a hero, and that has given him a new sense of purpose.
They're associating his coming to heroism as his corruption to Genova.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how you should do that.
I'll document every moment of his growth. A hero needs to slay monsters to make his legend shine, so I'm not afraid what's ahead. In fact, I'd risk my life to immortalize it. Relax.
Yeah, not really how that works, dude.
Yeah, you don't... Yeah.
You don't want actually...
Yeah, you're not... You're... Yeah. You're signing your warrant. Okay. Episode 2 during their travels. Yeah, heroes versus monsters all over again.
It's been heroes versus monsters the whole time. It's not changed. It's just the same thing. Oh, what?
Roth. 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 Sephiroth.
Phil. Heart.
Mother?
Oh,
Genova.
God.
Sephiroth. Purple flowers. Genova.
Look at this art.
I know, appearing as Lucrezia. You know, isn't this nice, Sephiroth? The wind is so refreshing. It is. Very. And it smells so wonderful. You'd never see these flowers in Midgar. This is my favorite part of traveling. I'm on a trip with you. I can barely believe it. Oh, poor little baby. I rarely leave headquarters unless it's for a mission. Hehehe. I'm glad you're enjoying it, but you're acting like we don't go on trips all the time. We do? You must be tired. You should unwind. Maybe take a nap. A dream within a dream. That would just be a waste of time. That time I could spend with you. You don't need to worry about that. From now on, wherever you go, we'll be together.
Uh-oh.
Is that really true? Of course. You're a hero, after all. Doing everything you can to help the world. You deserve this reward. I'm so proud of you, Sephiroth. Just hearing you say that makes me feel invincible. No! No!
Turn away from the light, Sephiroth.
Then I'll keep saying it. I'm so proud of you. It looks like I wasn't mistaken after all. As long as I'm fighting for you, I won't ever stop. Don't overdo it, though. You're already giving more than enough. And no matter what happens, I'll be there to protect you. Even if the world stands against you.
The world's enemy, dude. Hell yeah. This is fucking awesome. Fuck you. This
Just
is so
having
good.
you by my side gives me strength. You're so sweet, Sephiroth. Come here. Sephiroth is becoming more like Anakin Skywalker every time they do this. I mean, to me, he's becoming more like Homelander. Okay, thank you for everything, Mother.
Yeah, where's the milk?
Yeah.
I want to note one of the most... Oh, wait.
I wish this moment could last forever.
That is insane, too.
He got a
God
hug.
damn it, dude. He hugs Cloud. Maybe he wanted that moment to last forever, too.
Yeah.
There is a very subtle mention from Jenova there, which I think is so fucking telling. And also, this is super telling just because this is, like, essentially Jenova manifest.
Yeah.
There's, like, this is not just, like, tomfoolery, like, an illusion. This is directly Jenova, like, talking to her favorite child.
Yes. Yes.
And so what she is saying is not to be... everything she says is important. This is, like, the first time we're hearing, like, Jenova speak.
Right.
The mention of the winds blowing and how refreshing that is also just to see, a connection being made to the future changing, to the winds blowing in her favor, which is something that is mentioned in Loveless as influencing destiny, things like that. So the fact that Sephiroth is here connecting to her is sort of like the reawakening of Jenova and the beginnings of, like, the stir, so to speak. It is unbelievable. This whole chapter, everything that was said was like just one thing after the next of a reference. It's all great.
It is all great. I think that vision of the nebula also came from Jenova. Yeah, me too. Probably like home or something. Okay. Episode 3, A Festive Send-Off.
Also, these are like not memories, they're like illusions.
This series on his channel, bro, on his Twitch, bro. Max Jamma. Yeah, I want him to respond to this too.
He's been responding to these, I
Yeah,
think,
well,
for the
no, he
most part.
asked.
So
So, like, Max Jamma, like the most that Max and I ever talk is about Ever Crisis. He'll ask me to send him stuff or little bits to see what he, so that he knows what to talk about. Yeah, he's really, um, he doesn't like that it's locked behind this either. But like, he's also super busy. It's hard for him to do this while also, so he'll respond to stuff like kind of in a more like, yeah,
general way, in
yeah.
a way
He
that like
takes
it's easily digestible.
suggestions on what to like kind of respond to, and yeah, he couldn't make it to the thing. Um, which there's a lot going on. I mean, like he's got MVCI and stuff like that. Amaze us, make your mom and dad proud. You'll do great.
Oh my god.
Angio, what are these voices? We won't forget you. That's our soldier. Don't let us down. Soldier? Right. I left my village for Midgar after I joined Soldier. Benora! So this is Angeal having memories of his childhood. See how different it is? Again, they're juxtaposing. You know?
Where it's like the singular person, and it's
Yeah.
this is so to context this is also the way that this scene started, exactly what the the live stream sequence starts as.
Yeah.
Mom and dad talking to Angeal, and then the voices of his friends and family and loved ones chiming in.
Yeah.
So this is why Angeal is white feathered like white feathered creation, and black feathered creation being Sephiroth.
Yeah. Go get him. Knock their socks off. Come back and visit. We'll send you apples. We're rooting for you. The pride of Benora.
But this is also a Genova illusion too, right? So I feel like this is gonna turn.
I don't know. I
ugly.
think that sometimes they're a little rough with the purple. Sometimes they just like do what they can. The music's really good here. Did you say goodbye to everyone? Jillian says. Yeah, they've all been so supportive, and they all said they'd take care of you and Dad. That's so good to hear. I can't believe the whole village came out to see you off. Just goes to show how much they appreciate everything you do. I only do what I do because I've had great examples to follow. Thank you, Angeal. You bought us enough crops to last 10 years. Oh, wow. He told us to send some to his parents every week. It was enough to make me cry. You both raised such an amazing son. Forget Sephiroth. Angeal will always be our #1 soldier. I'm speechless. I promise I won't let you down.
There's a lot of pressure on him.
So
this is also very true to his character later on too.
They gave him money for being soldier. Like, here's your money. And that money is so substantial in comparison to the pittance that these, that these farmers make. That he just like, okay, I have money, here you go. Here, I made you this. A soldier needs a uniform that makes them look sharp, right? You made this? So that's why you've been staying up late every night. I wanted to get every detail right. I ordered the best materials straight from Midgar. Jillian. Even though I'm afraid of getting it dirty. Don't you worry about that. I'll just make you another. This is from me. Be a warrior that others look up to. Oh, this is where he gets it. Really? Swing that around and you'll send even the fiercest monster running. I've never seen a sword like that. So Buster and Masamune origins being juxtaposed against each other is fucking tight as shit.
This is so cool.
It's so tight. Okay. Embrace your dreams, son, and hold on to your hope.
That's a rebirth thing.
That's so cool. I swear on this sword, I will. Hurrah, hurrah, way to go. We have to take a picture to remember this by. Who's this motherfucker? That's a great idea.
This is also a Nibelheim connection here, I feel like.
Is this... I know, there's
like
too many
the
camera
truth
people.
of something.
Okay. Hell yeah. Oh. Put it somewhere you'll always be able to see it. That way it's like we're always with you. Where else is he gonna fucking put it, dude? It's a giant fucking sword. There's no place on his body he can put it where people can't see it, dude. Okay. I never forget my father's words. I embraced my dreams and held on to my hope, even through the hard times. But now all my dreams have come true, so I'll keep on fighting for my parents who have struggled so much, and for everyone else who's trying to get through their hard times. Okay, that said, as soon as the Ultima weapon comes out, Buster Sword is going in the trash in part 3, just FYI.
Wait, no, don't say that.
No!
All of my dreams have come true, so I'll keep fighting for my parents who've struggled
that was
so much.
Sweet.
For everything else.
That was
Everyone
sweet.
We still have another chapter, or is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay, there's no way. I was like,
that was a lot. That was way more than I thought. There's some fucked up fight I can do against the Demon
Demon
MASAMUNE and probably get my ass handed to me. We'll try it. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna use like strategy. I'm gonna see if Otto can't beat this, then I'm doing it off stream because I don't give a shit. But his character model is fucking cool. Like there's the fire thing. It's like he is a forge.
Like a little literal missing hollow eye and the white eye, which is very like,
and like a broken MASAMUNE through him somehow,
which is sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm also just very curious about like the ignited hand.
Yeah. So for a long time, Otto was, you could get Otto through everything, but they have actually made the game so that it's like you can't always overpower battles, and you do need to sometimes switch to manual in order to understand fights and figure stuff out.
I'm just shocked how much the game is bringing to the table with the story. Shocking.
It's good. It's like astonishingly good, you know?
I need this game. This is sort of, again, and I think I've said this like every single time like we've watched one of these, is that Ever Crisis just needs to be like, so much of this should have been in like Crisis Core or something like that. Just seeing like Angeal get the sword and having that moment, and like you said already, the sort of parallels between the MASAMUNE and the Buster Sword being created in front of our eyes, where in Crisis Core, Angeal having the Buster Sword and where things were for that was very like, it felt very not flimsy, but just very undeserved, like unearned.
Yeah.
For the audience, but now it's like, okay, well now I understand why Angeal, like why it matters that he has it, and how that moment impacted him as a character, and because it impacted him as a character and we see that influence, it by default matters more to us as an audience. So it's just such an interesting it's cathartic in a way, knowing so much about Crisis Core and finally seeing the story that is not told well be told well in this way. Not told unwell, but just not communicated as well as it could have been, I think. And that obviously has limitations that we could talk about and yada yada, but it just really is coming to fruition in such an interesting way.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, Jenna Ray 86, so looks like clear 1 a day burn toir 4 times. Okay. Let's see if we attempt. Was the Burntoir part of a... Is that part of this? These are ridiculous. Yeah, Burntoir. Okay, so that means that the... Okay, so the holiday battle...
Exactly, Sonny.
Okay, so that means that you come to this... Okay, so the way that the Burntoir thing probably works is you probably have to get through all of the Burntoir missions, and then at the top there's a 1 a day, which means it's like something that has really high rewards that refresh daily. We can, I think, do that. That's fine. We'll try and go through that. So you don't... Yeah, there's so much ridiculous stuff like this that I haven't kept track of, but it looks really nice. I mean, it looks cool. Unity is a pretty powerful engine if used appropriately, you know. So, thunk.
Honestly, all of this has been pretty, like, I haven't really put much thought into the style of it in terms of it being like it looks like an appropriate budget for something like what they're doing. A little bit above the standard that I would, you know, expect, honestly. So, Renaissance Elf, just curious, do you think that Ever Crisis will eventually make the lost chapters of Crisis Core? So they have already kind of been inserting some in-between scenes for like the OG scenes with Cloud and him showing up to Midgar and things like that. But honestly, dude, like the stuff that is really good about Crisis Core is happening like right now. Like this is the stuff that matters, and
yeah,
this is the context building for Crisis Core to kind of have that moment. Literally, Gene just said Angeal matters. Yeah, Angeal actually is like a character now.
Yeah.
Like a character that like has a feel. Like the thing that I like about this so much, and sorry to tangent, but
yeah, that's fine.
The idea of Angeal is going back to the degradation and the sort of way that the cells are made up for these characters is that Angeal is a fully formed person. When he gives his cells away, he degrades. That is the idea of selflessness to a fault. Is that if you give too much of yourself away, you're gonna perish. And for Sephiroth, it's the opposite, which is very Genova-like, meaning that his cells don't degrade. Period. It's one of the reasons why Genova.
He's sort of a taker, yeah. Oh, do
yeah,
you have a raid?
Hey, Shade.
Oh, Shade MP. Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. How's it going? How was your Dirge stream?
How was your speed runs? Are you gone from the camera? Where did you go? Did I did that.
I don't know. Something happened, but
no,
it's fine.
I fixed it. Okay.
Oh hell yeah, that fucking dog is sick. We were just admiring the hell out of this Ever Crisis chapter. Because there's just so much good stuff happening.
Yeah, surprisingly good. Yeah.
Dirge extraordinaire here, people. Shade MP.
The Dirge guy.
The Dirge dude.
I mean, the thing... Yeah, so what's interesting... So, okay, like, if we're to like, highlight takeaways from this section, is that, okay... The Cetra
speaks.
The Cetra inhabited the Wutai area 2,000 years ago, and they found this really like calamitous purple beast monster that that 5 warriors had to eliminate, essentially, with fire. They had to burn it with fire. Only one survived, and that warrior was named Dachau. Okay, the fire raged on in that area for years because it was that kind of fire, and it became uninhabitable. 500 years before the events of 7, so 1,500 years later, another group of Cetra inhabited an area and restored some of it, of this burnt land, And this is south of Wutai, right? Dachau went north and established Wutai. 1,500 years later, another group of Cetra came in, and as they were restoring it, the smith of the area became obsessed and corrupted by something very Genova-esque, and he started forging Masamune. It then became the ring from Lord of the Rings, and everybody went crazy trying to get their hands on this fucking sword. And so Masamune had to kill all of them and burn the village down. And he became corrupted by himself. He is still alive and haunting the area. So
As a demon.
So the demon Masamune is a corrupted by Genova Cetra and the blade has been calling to both Alyssa, who is an active model soldier, by the way. She's not passive. So she has Genova cells in her. We don't know what kind it says, but we can make a guess that it's probably S cells, because she too hears the call of Masamune. She's getting memories flooding her. She's getting affected. She also looks like Lucrezia, at least from our perspective right now. And Gilles, however, does not feel any of this shit. Everybody sees these visions, though, because these purple orbs show up, and they show everybody this. Not just, like, people, but, like, cameras can see it, too. So, it's like a very tangible thing. So, it's, again, like, the relationship between the live stream and the world is tangible enough that, you know, when something is happening in the live stream, it has an impact on the real world. So, you know, just as much as fear and horror and all that stuff, dreams, honor, all that stuff, they have impacts on the real world. This is very Yogacara coded. So this is really establishing that the world system is built in a way that anything still can happen. Right?
I do think one of the more subtle things that this story is doing, and correct me if this sounds maybe a little crazy, but I feel like the story is... So we know that from remake lore that Genova was imprisoned by Shiva in the ice.
Well, we assume,
right?
We assume that, yeah.
We assume,
Shiva,
but it was
Shiva's one of those
ice
in the battle. Yeah, right. And then
now this
fire.
Story is saying fire. So what we're starting to put together is that Genova was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like pieces of her were everywhere.
Right.
So she's been split up probably most of the time that she's been on the planet, it feels like, which also lends itself to the Genova cutscene that we see in Rebirth, where we see the Dreamweaver specifically in that cutscene. Obviously, it's a model reuse, which totally understandable.
Sure.
But it is also maybe alluding to the fact that the Cetra were like hunting down pieces of Genova and trying to eliminate her and like put her in her slumber, so to speak. And then the other thing that I feel like this is alluding to is part 3 stuff is sort of across the planet sort of acts of like duty of other people sort of coming together to do something. So I feel like we're gonna get a very almost Game of Thrones-y, like where there's multiple stories from different parts of the continent sort of
fighting Genova
themselves
on all the fronts, fighting chaos on all the fronts. Because that's what this really is. This is like, it's the fighting corruption, right? Like the idea that all monsters are really born of, like, there's a distinction between monsters and animals, and even if animals are carnivorous, there's a distinction between them and monsters. Monsters being like born of corruption, right? And so, like, I think by the end of this chapter, we're going to be fighting. We're gonna see like the monster that T'Chau fought, and it's gonna be Jenova, you know.
Yes.
Or something.
I
that
feel
looks,
like we could even get a like Lucrezia seeded form of Jenova a little bit, maybe in a subtler way, but or at least some nods that is the same person.
Yeah.
That's sort of talking to Sephiroth, and whether or not he picks up on that is gonna be probably on the side of like no. But we as the audience will probably be able to discern that difference. Also, Jenova talked, and
Yeah,
she said a bunch of shit.
Jenova's been talking in the dream life of... So this is not the first time Jenova has appeared to Sephiroth as Lucrezia in a dream, you know, and so that's happening. No.
I think the idea to sort of jump off of Ribs' question to Clark's statement here is that the part 3 will be the elimination of corruption.
Right.
You have the raid on Midgar, you have the Wutai section, which is also a part of the corruption. You have all of these seeds already laid out to sort of paint all of this, and then also dealing with, like, you know, the character's issues. That is, and then ultimately dealing with Sephiroth and the corruption that he is sort of embodying as a whole on just like the planet alone, as well as the character struggles. That is what's happening. That is what they're gearing up for. The other thing that we forgot to mention, Clark, is that Sephiroth knows that he owns the sword.
Right. Yeah, so
he knows,
okay, that's the
not
other
that
thing.
It's something that is for him.
Okay.
It is something that he knows that in the future is his belonging. He wants the sword back.
He literally says, I want that sword back. And at this point, he's never had the sword. So they make a point of saying, I want that sword back.
It makes me feel like this is the perfect form of what we've always been talking about with Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Is that the version of Sephiroth that we're facing is, and what they've created him into, is he embodies all
he's sort
forms
of omnitemporal. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is past, present, and future Sephiroth in the live stream.
Yeah.
When he is whole, he is all versions of himself. And that also lends itself to the destruction of corruption ultimately. Is that, and that's something that's very well illustrated also in Rebirth, is that once Sephiroth is whole, he can be dealt with as one thing no matter where he is.
Yeah.
That's why you have different, you know, party members fighting at different times. You're just going to get that on a huge scale in part 3. What an exciting way of illustrating that in a mobile game. Like, honestly, the story here is perfectly setting up what it feels like they're trying to accomplish in such a beautiful way.
Yeah. And so what Egg with Feeling says, and this is great, this is a great point narratively, is like, it's interesting to have such deep lore associated with the weapon that kills Aerith, right? You know, the last of the Cetra, and also sort of like it can add some context to why, you know, out of nowhere, you know, he appears, you know, like we know obviously, but it's just more like referential understanding of why these characters have had some kind of, despite never really in the OG like interacting much, why her, you know, and it's always been because there's this very ancient battle and with a lot of context, a lot of planetary context. But yeah,
it's gonna be so good to see all of this pay off in some way.
Yeah.
And it's already kind of paying off because we're longer term fans.
Yeah.
So like every, like even the sowing of the seeds of any of this is already a payoff in itself. Feels very earned. Very celebratory almost. This thing is fucking crazy, by the way. This giant cookie.
Yeah, the giant cookie that I'm fighting. Yeah, mostly Ever Crisis is a silly game, you know? That's That's just the way it is, you know. But you think it's just a good excuse for another Zack game?
I mean, hey.
I'm okay.
Listen, I'm not gonna fucking complain.
Yeah, whatever we get, I'm okay with, I guess. Except for a Zack game. No, I'm okay with a Zack game. You know, I really like Caleb as Zack now. Seeing the kind of what he embodies about the character. And so I am looking forward to see what kind of where Zack's character is going. You know, I just hope it's going somewhere. I don't really care where. He could end up alive at the end of this, and I wouldn't really care. You know.
Yeah, at this point, it's like
whatever. Yeah. So, okay, this is that once a day thing that you have to do for 4 days, Jenna. So that's the answer, I think. I know you kind of figured out that you hadn't made it to this far, but just we'll do it this once and see if that solves the issue. Okay.
You
gotta go.
Unfortunately, now have to go.
No, that's fair. You should leave. Get out of here.
I'm gonna run away.
No, that was good stuff. Thank you for joining me.
I loved every second of being here.
I loved being here. Yeah, I loved being here, and it ended up being really good.
And that's the shocking thing.
I'll be honest. I'd been told that this is kind of like a skippable portion, like they didn't spoil it for me. It was like, oh, it's whatever. So I was like, oh, it'd be really nice to have Sleepezi on here because, you know, it'll make it easier to get to. I didn't know that it would be like the most Sleepezi and Baby Seal coded chapter possible.
This is why Ever Crisis is great to just sit down, and also like there's a lot of good time in between what's happening to just kind of talk about it. So thank you for having me. I loved it. I will definitely, if anything else comes out, just let me know and I'll jump back on because I fucking love this shit.
Hell yeah.
I'll see you, chat. All right. Enjoy the rest of the stream.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
So, okay, we'll just check this. I don't have a ton of reasons to stay here either, but, you know, I'm here, and what are you going to do, you know? And thank you, by the way, for the raid. If I didn't thank you already, that was wonderful. Shade MP. Let's see. Are there other things to note? Well, you know, we did get... So, okay, I wanted to say this about the sisterly thing. All right, so for people that don't know what I'm talking about, Hayes Madsen did an interview, and he asked about the love triangle, and what Hamaguchi said was, you know, hey, you know, a lot of people have different interpretations of the scenes, but you know, I always saw Aerith's relationship with Cloud to be more sisterly, is sort of the way that it's been spun. It's not exactly what he said. He said, but you know, that was kind of the vibe of it. Enough that like that's not really, you know, that's not a uncharitable way to translate that. However, there is some cultural context to consider. Like, it's the same word that, for instance, Claudia uses to describe what Cloud needs, you know, during the flashback. Like, you need somebody more sisterly. It's a word that has, like, some multiple contexts. And so, like, if that means sisterly in the literal, like, you know, incest is off the table sort of way, then Cloud is suggesting, or Claudia is suggesting that that what Cloud needs is a big sister, right? So obviously there's room there, you know, but I also do think that from the context you could say, and my general feeling about this from my interactions with Hamaguchi is it's okay that he has his own kind of preferences with this sort of stuff. I bet you not all of the devs feel the same way about the way they interpret things, right? But I do think Hamaguchi probably interprets things that way, and that's totally fine. You know, I don't really care that much, you know, at all. So, um, I want people to be able to, like, if there's freedom to interpret the story that way, interpret the story that way. If there's not, and you want to do it anyways, that's also fine. But um, I do know that was probably the most controversial thing that's come out of interviews since I last streamed, where I talked about the event. We're trying to figure out how to get footage of the Zach question. Like, I've even asked Square about this. Like, can you tell me who's, because I don't want to like out this person that was at this thing if they don't want to be, and I'm gonna try and find them. Like, they're pictured throughout the event, but I'm not gonna point them out. And see if like they have any copies of the footage of them asking the question, because you know a lot of people at Square are probably like going to vacation. So if I can release it before the Christmas break, I will. Okay. Um, 120, 120,000. Yeah, you're nowhere near that. Yeah. I mean, it could take some grinding. Yeah. I don't know what it's like for a new player right now. This can be a grindy game, but yeah. So this, yeah. Uh, yeah, this is for Buster Sword Origin, yeah? Oh, and there's 2 panels? Okay. I should probably get to work on these. Yeah. But that's okay. I'll do that off stream, because it's boring. But yeah, how are you all? How's everybody doing? I'm gonna move to this. Yeah, man, I thought that was really good. Um, Personally. The shipping topic is always controversial, yeah. I mean, the main thing that um, sort of interested me about discussions there is, and you know, sometimes things will happen too where, you know, and I think this happened to a lot of us that were interviewing people, is that, you know, they'll reflect back and say, hey, maybe that was a bit too far, you know. And so that's why, you know, people always um it takes some time, and then you usually need to get a little bit of feedback from the people saying, hey, what were you okay with this answer, blah blah blah, you know, was this too far, is beyond what you wanted to do right now, you know. And that's a fine thing for them to say, you know. I don't see how Zach's death is denial, seeing as he believes he died, albeit under false circumstances. Yeah, I don't think that at all. I don't think it's denial. It's something, I mean, it's something substantive, but like but substance is such a tenuous thing because the live stream exists, and like, yeah, like you could be manifested dreams, and dreams can become reality, and like it's just a problem of willpower, you know. Yeah, yeah, the new rebirth revelation. It's a different story. And look, here's something that I will say is that, like, from all of my experience at at the event, one thing that seemed real consistent was that, you know, they've always, even though they've always had like um they've always had kind of an outline of how the story would unfold in the rebirth trilogy. Um the the mechanics of how it all fit together is something they've still been working out. You know, like I think one of the most interesting things is, just check in on a response here before I. So one of the things that Ken talked about is that I asked was that I asked about the terriers in Junon and in the Gold Saucer. And the way I phrase the question is, was there ever any other plans to have Zach appear in those locations during the interlude sequence? And the answer was, yeah, there were, but um, due to budgetary constraints and because of flow, ultimately they decided against it, right? And so it wasn't really like, so to them, when they say like they've got a general outline and they've got a scenario set, they're talking about outcomes most likely. So they've got an idea of what the outcomes are going to be like, how it all is put together. Like that sounds substantial to me, but it isn't to them, right? To them, like they're phrasing it timelines because we phrase it timelines. Like Hamaguchi says, like timelines or many worlds, as you guys like to say. As you guys like to say. Like the many worlds part, the dynamics of that, the mechanics of that is an afterthought to them. They don't care about it like the way that we care about it. What they're concerned about is they want to get this point across, this point across. They want this event to happen. Like the nature of reality during those events are just means to an end, right? So to them, the difference between multiple timelines and altered timelines is irrelevant because it's more to them about the story they're trying to tell and the events and the conclusions that are drawn from. Like the pathway is less significant to them, right? So like, they're watching us like say, is it an altered timeline? Is it timelines? Is it a dream? And they're just like, yeah, sure, whatever. What you should be asking yourself is like, what are the themes? Are there new themes? Is there new events that you're going to see that are going to blow your mind? You know, or are you really going to like the way we did this scene this time? You know, so it's a very different set of criterion by which they are evaluating deviation. You know, so to them, the difference between there being a single altered timeline and being multiple timelines is not a significant change. Like they don't consider that to be, like a big deviation, right? To us, it is, you know. It's much more fantasy than sci-fi, which is cool to me. I guess there's a lot of sci-fi that explores consciousness, right? Which I feel like dreams and consciousness are things that can be explored via sci-fi too, right? But I hear what you're saying in terms of like fantasy relies less on things cohering to world structure, whereas sci-fi usually, sets these boundaries for their world system and you know tries to keep things applicable to them as if they're science. So I hear what you're saying and I agree, but I could also argue that a lot of the mechanics or play are prevalent in some really good sci-fi as well. you know Inception is considered sci-fi. you know but I hear what you're saying, and I think it's cool too. I think it's cool what they're doing. So you feel like the statues in the Gi area look like Minerva? Do they? I feel like they look like one of them looks like Genova for sure, and the other one. I don't know if Minerva's right. Delta's looked at him a lot. Delta, I think, is going through his Stefan V. Yo, baby seal, I made a cute SL gif of Aerith and Tifa. Check Blue Sky when you get a chance. I don't know why I'm so excited about it. I will. You know what? It's not playing. It's showing up as an image on Blue Sky. Just so you know. I'm retweeting it on Blue Sky so people can see it. Okay. There is one bust statue that looks like it could be Minerva, and is paired with another masculine Genova-like statue similar to the one we see in the Temple of the Ancients. Yeah. It's so hard to know if it's like asset reuse or like tells a picture, but like or tells a story that's significant or interesting. I can tell you though that like one of the things that's blown my mind is like in the actual place where Aerith meets her fate. Um, the pro version of that scene does reveal a lot more detail. Like I don't know why I didn't notice murals there too, but there's people that kind of remind me of the characters that were just described in the DeChow segment. You know, could Genova and Minerva ever be interchangeable? I feel like there's really a lot of blur between them. Yeah. Let's see. You sent again? Okay. Yeah, the one you just sent, I can see. Yeah. Weird. The one that says let's roll, that is cute. Yeah, that is peak interaction between them. I think it's so like I like that dynamic. I even like that the subtitle says here, I'll put it on screen. Um I even like that the it actually specifies like Tifa and Aerith saying it together. I love that. Yeah, you're right. Good one. Yeah. So, things to talk about. Okay, so the PC version is coming. I'll be streaming a lot of that. What I'm excited about with the PC version is that it's going to allow me to sort of redo um, like not redo, but like a new game versus the hard mode will allow me to look at the proto relic quests again because you can't redo those. I'm surprised they didn't patch that in as a thing that you could do. Um, and and like all the Gilgamesh stuff. The proto relic quests were really like kind of lore heavy, you know. So there are some things that you can't do on New Game Plus unless you skip it the first time, which I think is what I'll do. I want to do all of the New Game Plus stuff. I want to do everything I can do on hard mode as possible. So that's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and plow through the story in PC mode and then just get a fresh hard mode save. That's what I think. But with that, guys, I think we had a good stream. And I'm hoping you guys have a good day. And so I do believe I will be streaming tomorrow. So this is the last thing. So the Grand Game Awards are tomorrow. And the Grand Game Awards are an Algerian Game Awards show. And there is going to be a Square Enix exclusive trailer and a couple of Square Enix guests. And uh, let's go ahead, everybody, and keep your expectations in check, right? I'm not saying this as an insider. I'm saying this as somebody that understands that an Algerian Game Award show that's brand new is likely not going to be the kind of venue to release something insanely monumental, right? That said, we'll still watch it. I love when new things come up, and I like supporting an international community of gamers. Um, and so we'll try and watch that, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the stuff that we saw. So, yeah. And if I can get a guest for that, Homestar's remake trailer, yeah, that'd be awesome. So, okay, guys, you guys are great. Thank you all. It's great attendance this stream. Thank you.